Some Bitcoin DDT. Let's see what we're doing with some Bitcoin. Uh,
Let's look at some Bitcoin with DDT. Look at that. Thanks,
mm,
Billy. I see the
All
market.
right. Good evening. Let's get into some charting. So, weekly, at the moment, still kind of looking sad for itself. Obviously, money flow red. We did have the weekly green dot printing this week with 1/16. Frankie was talking about with the weekly green dot, the 10-hour money flow is confident for that higher time frame 1/16 markets after B strategy. We did have the money flow cross green, obviously hit this top just above 74k. If I take and I put all the levels on, which will make my chart look really messy, we obviously rejected anchored VWAP, but the VWAP is actually better displayed on Binance, like literally tagged it to the T. So 74k was an anchored VWAP from 95,000 from the pretty much the last kind of lower high, if you call it that, on the daily time frame. So rejected there. Also, as well, what was confluent with what happened up here around 74k. Very negligible, but we had a negligible 1 hour bearish divergence. And then, kind of at that time as well, if you were going to kind of clutch at straws or kind of follow the strategy, as we hit this high, you could see a 15-minute money flow came down. And then, if you want to even lower 5-minute money flow, everything was flowing out, right? So, and then also as well, with that in mind, I wouldn't have classed it necessarily as a swing failure pattern or liquidity grab, but it just looks like it did because we still had a daily close below this level. So there was a swing failure here, liquidity grab, run on liquidity there, just above 73,200. 2 daily candle closes. See, swing failure, came back in, tapped, dropped. So there's various confluent factors there to take a short trade if anyone did. So that was kind of the weekly move up. We did as well on the 4 hour, had the 4 hour money flow cross as we were kind of hitting up cross green, hit up atop this kind of 74k level, then rejected. What's happened subsequently is these are probably the best volume profile rotational trades. So we were above the value area high, kind of roughly around 70k. We had bearish divergence, swing failure pattern, whichever trade you wanted to kind of call it up top there above 74k. You would have traded all the way back to the value area high, 70k short. We've now obviously fallen back within the profile between 65 and 70k, give or take. Hit the POC. Now we've lost the POC, bearishly backtested the POC. So we are probably highly likely now to kind of get the full rotation. What I do have down here is with the value area low, there is a Fibonacci that's pulled from basically 59,800 all the way to the 74k high. So we've got local golden pocket, daily order block or daily level, and obviously the value area low. So there's some confluence there for a bounce. And yeah, it is just ranging for this for the most part. Obviously, we've got the geopolitical side of things that's affecting price action quite hectically. Also, as well, kind of my usual is I always state that Michael Saylor is buying again. So we'll have some announcement of him buying some Bitcoin again. But the issue is that we're in a state of the market where the spot buying is not, the spot volume is not higher than the perpetuals volume. So that is more indicative of, with perpetuals leading, that whatever perpetuals is doing is what we're going to do, not necessarily what spot is doing is what we're going to do. So with kind of a lot of shorts coming in, kind of from the top here, and also as well not enough spot buying to kind of absorb the shorting coming in. The kind of modus or kind of the kind of state of play is just ranging until we lose key levels. So for me, I'm a range trader. I trade the volume profiles taught by Frankie. So yeah, kind of I'm looking kind of 65,000 give or take for a bounce, and yeah, we'll try and play the rotation. You're hopefully going to kind of get back up to 67, 68k POC. But for the most part, yeah, we just in this range. Deviation came back in, kind of, and just bing bonging, going up and down between the kind of deviation other side, trade back towards, deviation underneath, trade back towards or trade up. Money flow for the most part still more indicative of going down. Like sub 1 hour is just heavily red, and it's more for the most part as well. Like even like the 15 minutes faking out quite a bit. We had obviously during the week we had the 4 hour fake out. So obviously fake out is when it flips to one color and then literally comes back. So it obviously went red, green, and then back to red. So it's more indicative of not enough market participation in one direction to actually be able to be fully biased in one direction at this point. So for me, trading the range, key levels at this point, 65k basically below us. If we lose 65k, obviously we have a bigger range, which I'll just show. Basically 59.8 to 59.8 to 70k. And then kind of at this now, we are now, if we do get down here, for the most part, if we get down to kind of the 59,800, close to 60k, we kind of, I think the 2-day and the 3-day are kind of your best bets at bullish divergences kind of into these levels if that happens. Yeah, there's just not enough buying volume. Obviously, either people are exiting or just want to get short for kind of the next, in inverted commas, big drop. So it's very tough to trade this long unless you're getting really decent confirmations to go long. But for the most part, also as well, it's ranging. So you do have also probability of just ranging and trading between the levels between, at the moment, 65 to 70k, give or take. So yeah, kind of if we are getting kind of below, kind of obviously your 2-day and 3-day bullish divergences will be your confirmations to kind of look for a long. But for the most part, if we don't break down and we just kind of carry on ranging, we've got the levels between 65 and 70k. Kind of if we do get back up above here, it's going to be tough for the time being. We're going to literally have to take out the 74k highs to get any decent higher time frame bearish divergences. So for now, yeah, I'm just kind of sticking to kind of my volume profile, trade that till it breaks. And also as well, I've been catching a few longs, but still mainly short, holding kind of more swing shorts than anything at this point, kind of like how Frankie's been doing. So still trying to scalp long where I can, but for the most part, I'm still also as well expecting at least another drop, or at least another attempt to kind of take out this kind of just sub 60k levels at this point. But,
and one of the best feelings in the world is whenever you see a trader that you really respect and your TA matches up exactly. That's awesome, man. We must have the same sensei.
I know there's obviously various kind of methods to trading on lots kind of our followers that they don't necessarily trade the volume profiles, but my hypothetically 65k level will match with something. Everything kind of
lines all there with the fibs. It's there with fibs. It's there with VWAP. VWAP's right at the POC right now.
Yeah, so fibs and those type of things all work out, and we're all there and thereabouts. So just keep an eye on those levels for the week, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, geopolitics might come into play again, so we just got to kind of wait with bated breath just to see what happens. But for the time being, if I was going to guess, I would say we are going to come down a little bit lower, kind of specifically with how futures is going to open, oil prices, gas prices, all that stuff in the Middle East going on. I would presume it's going to drop down a bit this week at least to set up for a long. So at some point.
Yeah, my man Sammy Cup and Handy gave out a oil long, and I pulled up my chart and looked at it, and I was like, Sammy's on the money, man. And boom, what I love about Coinbase, I'm shilling it. I know but you bought it right there.